Coffee with the Summerland kids. This is episode 17. I don't know what day it is, but I know it's Monday. It's 2020. It's 2024, baby, and we're maybe we're getting younger. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna turn my light on here.
29. It's 29.
Yeah, exactly. 29. Thanks, Dirk.
I had to look at the calendar.
Dirk and I, we've known each other, Aaron, almost as long as you and I have. And Dirk and I haven't talked for a while, but Dirk is always very incredibly insightful with these, like, poetic. He wrote one of my favorite bios for me that I've ever gotten. So thank you, Dirk, for that incredible bio you wrote for me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
For sure. That was a pleasure, man. You've always been cranking out, really great art for so long. And
yeah, thanks, man.
I know so many people appreciate that. And
yeah,
I was happy to help any way I could.
That's cool. Thanks for getting up early with us, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. I think it's part of the alcohol metabolizing into sugar, but I'm here for it.
Yeah.
There's my dog.
Nice.
We always get lots of views when we get dogs and cats on our stream. They seem to be more popular than us human beings.
Yeah. People like dogs better than people, I think.
Yeah. Dirk, are you still writing? Are you just writing?
Yeah.
What's up with your writing, man? Tell us about your writing.
I've been working on a story the last 5 days. I worked on it every day for at least an hour every day.
Okay.
And I've never done that before.
Okay.
So I'm pretty pumped up on it. And I have this neighbor who lives across the street she's pretty hot.
Yeah,
that's worse. And so I was like, hey, what's going on? Let's go out or something. And she's like, no, yeah, I'm busy. And then like after that, I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna talk to her anymore. And then she comes over one day and she goes, hey, do you want to work with me to get my certification for nurse coaching or whatever? And I'm like, okay, sure. So that was like the previous week. And then Earth Day, we had our first session. And it was like 2 hours long, and we talked about everything. But one of them was like one of my goals was to crank out a story. Okay. And I've actually had 5 days in a row to like get up and work on the same story has been something I've never done before.
Good for you, man. That's epic.
It's been great, and I like what I'm putting down, and I hope it's something I can share with you guys one day, and
yeah, maybe that's cool.
Newsstand or whatever.
Dirk, did you go to college?
I did. I went to SBCC, and then I went to UCSB, and then I went to the Creative Circus, which was a vocational art school for advertising in Atlanta.
Good for you. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's sweet, man.
Yeah. What was that one trip I was
vocational art school? So that teaches you how to be an artist, but not just how to do art, but like vocation implies work. So being an artist, how do you find work? So is that kind of what the college was about? How to get work as an artist?
Pretty much, exactly. Yeah. How to be an advertising professional, essentially. As a writer, I wanted to do something artistic. I didn't want to wear a tie, and I didn't want to wear uncomfortable leather shoes, so I decided to write ads. So that was that journey, into that world. And the other trip that you may be talking about, I went to Nepal and India.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I went over there for a wedding in Nepal near Mumbai for a buddy I worked with at an ad agency in Santa Monica. And he got married in India, and then I went over to Nepal and went in the Himalayas for
oh my God,
for a little over a week, hiking up there, and like you see the clouds being born. Cause, you fly from Delhi into Kathmandu, and you look out the plane window, and there's Everest, at eye level.
Wow.
And there's Tibetan monks walking around everywhere.
Yeah. You're losing a little signal there, but
yeah, he froze on my end too. But that's that's awesome. Our first guest.
No, Dirk's our first guest. He really kind of he struck me when he came to Summerland House that when we were in our 20s, and I just really had like I could feel his because he just got back from that trip, and I was like, this guy was like on a vision quest or something. It felt like to me, you know. So it just struck me as very interesting the way he was eloquently putting the words to what he just had experienced, and this is probably 25 years ago. So, anyways,
Yeah, I think that he was talking about writing and putting rather than going to you know, his business side, advertising, marketing with his writing. He's
yeah,
actually going to write a story and spending 5 days, you know, rather than you know, I don't know how many hours or minutes or days it might take to write an advertising um, piece. But it sounds like, you know, a 5 day project is a lot bigger than, say, a 200-word article.
yeah. You know, I think it might be something like personal that he's working on now. You know,
I
well,
hope so. I think we got him
hey,
back.
Zach.
Let's.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
We were talking about you while you were gone.
Okay. Yeah, I got out of the Wi-Fi range. I think I need Wi-Fi. Oh no, I'm not on Wi-Fi now, but
Yeah, no,
got
you're
5
good. I
bars.
don't have what. Yeah, you're good, Dirk.
Okay, sweet.
So, Dirk, like, you know, I just remember you telling about that journey you went on, and we were in our early 20s, and I was like taken aback because, I mean, I've been to Hawaii and I've been to Mexico, but you really went out there, man. Nepal, that's a ways away, and I feel like
Yeah,
you were very touched by that journey.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. You know, when I was over there, I met this dude from Israel on the plane, like waiting for the plane to go from Delhi to Kathmandu, and then we started talking. I was like, "Oh, you want to hang out here?" Okay, so then he and we hung out in Kathmandu for a few days, and then went to Pokhara, this other little city. It's like a gateway to the Himalayas, and then while I was there, we were there up in the mountains. You know, you're far from technology. It's just like these little villages here and there, and you got a map, and there's, you know, you go from like one little tea house to another, where usually a couple kind of runs the place, and there are hardly any Americans there. But while I was up there, I knew I was going to get a job coming back working for Honda's ad agency and working on Ridgeline trucks, you know?
Okay.
And so while I was there, I was kind of like in the back of my mind, like thinking about a commercial, thinking about, you know, thinking what would it be about? And I saw this guy walking up the mountain, and he had a bunch of chickens, like in cages, like on his back.
Okay.
And some of the chickens were different colors. Like some were, I think they're mostly all white. And I started thinking, like, you know, like some of the white chickens, they look like they're a little more just generic, you know, like kind of bland. And like the other, like the darker chickens look like maybe they're smarter or something. And then that's how I got this job I got this idea rather for the trucks. The Ridgeline trucks were like smarter trucks, and they would be herding around the bigger trucks. And then that was like $1 million commercial that ended up running.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, how about
Wow,
that? I haven't told that story in a long time.
that's incredible. Yeah, I told Aaron the other day how in the early auto industry they sent guys from Detroit out to California just to feel the vibration of California and experience it, and that influenced their designs and, you know, just really inspired them as
Totally.
creatives. You know, just where like essentially where you're at, like, are you in like Marina Del Rey or somewhere down there?
I'm in San Diego now.
San Diego, cool.
Yeah, a little
SoCal,
beach town.
SoCal
Yeah.
all the way.
Yeah, that's pretty. I never forgot that when you told me about that.
Yeah, that's incredible.
The inspiration for some of the car designers and things, you know. And then I guess you got like Chevy Novas and GTOs, and, you know, more muscle cars coming out. Then, you know, which reminds me of something pretty cool. You know, the best thing about the whole Star Wars franchise to me
What is it?
is Harrison Ford's character, you know,
Uh-huh.
Han Solo,
Yeah.
and Chewie, and
Right.
the Wookiee, right? Your buddy's nickname. And the reason for that is because, come on, Sophie. The reason for that is because the Millennium Falcon is like a 60s muscle car, and the Wookiee is like his dog, but he's his buddy, you know, and he's his mechanic. That's the best part of the whole, you know.
I think the Wookiee's smarter than Han Solo, bro. The Wookiee knows many languages, bro, but only speaks one, and he does it for a reason.
That's awesome, man. I love that viewpoint. That's genius.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
So you say, what else about this Wookiee? He say he picks somebody. He knows.
Aaron, tell us more about the Wookiees.
Aaron.
Well, people don't realize that you know, when we're talking Star Wars, you know, Force sensitive, like Yoda's breed or race per se, his type is Force sensitive. Well, my theory is that Wookiees are very Force sensitive. Okay, so the Jedi, they took kyber crystals and made their little silly little swords, and Wookiees took kyber crystals, and what did they make with them? Crossbows. Who's the only one who can mine that stuff? That's why they made the Wookiees a slave race, right?
Really?
Oh, wow.
Because they were the only ones strong enough to go get that stuff in the mines.
Huh.
Wow.
That's pretty wild.
That's cool.
That's my theory.
Yeah.
And then so Han Solo, like his a Wookiee buddy, is he's like he could have been a slave, or they were slaves somewhere else, but he rescued him and cruised around with him, and they're buddies, because it's not a slave master relationship. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're kind of hit the nail on the head. Not necessarily a slave master situation, because Han Solo and Chewbacca, you know, were together in the pit and they escaped. And so it's like a dog, you know, if you've ever saved a dog, they're your buddy, man. They will not let nothing hurt you.
Oh, that's the truth. Yeah.
And just like we were talking earlier, you know, yeah, people like dogs more. Why? Because I think dogs are in tune with nature, in tune with, you know, they don't got all this societal stuff caught up. I need this car or that car.
Right.
But part of what you were saying kind of intrigued me, because I'm also a writer, but I play with technology, and so like as a marketing writer, and the new technology, especially with the large language models, I was wondering, how does that affect your business in any sense? Are you using some of these technology tools to assist as far as your business and stuff, or is it taking over your job? Are the computers taking your job?
I think they're definitely making an impact in the industry. And hey, you guys got chickens? That must be Summerland, right?
I'm actually up in Orville. I had to move out of Summerland. They're $10 million houses. I'm not quite there yet.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. I hear you. I think I just found a credit card. $50. Maybe it's what's up.
That's awesome. Classic. That's amazing.
Have a sparkling day.
Yeah.
You know what?
I remember one time in Summerland, my mom found $100 bill walking across the C's Pizza is now in Summerland.
Used to be
right across from the Nugget.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she got up to go get me milk or something. I remember, because I was just a kid. She got up to go to Lucky's to get some milk for my cereal. And she came home, and just like you found a $50 card, she found a $100 bill. She was so excited. She's like, oh, because she was kind of cranky when she had to get up, and I didn't have no milk, you know.
Yeah.
I was just a kid. I didn't know no better. I didn't quite understand emotions and how a $100 bill can change your bad day from kids are up cranky, we got to get milk, to I just found $100. My day's just turned around.
Yeah, for sure. Something like that, especially if you need it. That could turn your day around for sure. That's good.
Heck yeah. So we are at the 15-minute point, Jerico. Cool, I've been trying to get in the habit of at least getting the format and the timing right, so I could say we were brought to you by our sponsor this week. Even though he's not sponsoring us, I want to give a big shout out to the Passion Company. My buddy, Jeremy Lastman, he's doing some, I guess, mental, spiritual, transformational kind of coaching. He's a life coach, took a lot of coaching. I've worked with him before. I broke barriers. So I connected back with him. I got his most recent package. Just a simple 7-day home study course. I'm in day 2 of the course, and my mind's just blown. Even though I've talked with this guy extensively, I've worked with him personally. I'm just blown away by just a simple 7-day self motivational program. So even though he's not sponsoring us, I'm giving a big shout out to the Passion Company, to Jeremy Lastman.
Cool.
So now I've done my piece.
Cool.
As far as the boss is concerned, me getting the promos out.
Yeah. That's awesome. So Dirk, are you getting ready to move, man? Are you moving, or what's going on?
No, I'm helping a buddy get rid of some furniture.
Oh, that's cool. That's nice of you.
Yeah, thanks, man. He had a place down here kind of nearby, and he sold it, and he bought a new place. One of his other houses is going to be it's in Lisbon, Portugal.
Oh, wow.
And he's got all this furniture from.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
That's why you've been seeing some of that stuff, those ads around.
Right on. Yeah. So how long have you been down there now? Have you been down there like in that area for a year or two or more?
14 years ago, June 2010, June 6, 2010, D-Day.
Okay, wow.
I moved to Encinitas from LA, from Playa del Rey.
Okay.
Moved down here for a job, a golf writing advertising job. And the job's long gone, but it brought me here.
Yeah.
And, it was kind of a culture shock moving down here from LA. I didn't know anybody, and never really heard of this place before. And then like here I am in this little beach town. There's my dog.
Yeah, that's a good place to be. I mean, being next to the coast is like, it is rejuvenating, seeing the ocean and the ocean air and that whole vibe. I mean, we take it for granted when we're there, but it's definitely a special thing to be there,
Oh yeah, the energy's it's really therapeutic. And there's a place down here called the Self-Realization Fellowship Center, and it's this big temple. And it's right on a surf spot called Swami's. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few good athletes too, like pro surfers. And I was at the park one day, just by my house over there. There's a little park over there with my dog. And one day, and I started talking to this guy, and he was actually reading Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now. And I was like, chopping it up with him, and then it turned out he was the first Olympic medal winning skateboarder from the United States.
Oh my God.
His name's Jagger Eaton. Check him out. He's he's got some pretty heavy like Instagram presence. And
for sure.
So when the Olympics were in Tokyo 2020, there's no crowds or anything, but you can see him skate in the parks.
Wow.
I ended up winning silver. And this other dude who I ended up golfing with one day too, he won gold.
That's incredible.
But he actually represents Australia. But yeah, just like a small world, I think what's his name, the Flying Tomatoes from here too, and Peachy. Tony Hawk has a place down here. I'm not a big name drop or anything, but
dude. Yeah, I realized just like I had the epiphany just like yesterday or this morning or something, that like our generation is going to be looked at upon as like pioneers, man. I mean, I know we got Mick Jagger and Ozzy Osbourne, all those big rock star guys, but they're essentially within our wheelhouse of our elders, if you will. So it's really amazing that like the foundation of in our lifetime, a tremendous foundation of rock and roll, skateboard culture, surf culture, car culture. So much stuff has happened in our lifetime that's been like, we're like essentially the forefathers that we don't realize it yet, but we're definitely, the time now is an incredible time, I want to say.
That's very insightful, man. I hadn't quite thought of that, but I could see that definitely being something that's appreciated, now and decades from now.
Yeah.
Because in ways like we have been pioneers, and like a lot of young people, like when I talk to them, say somebody's in their 20s or teens or even like 30s, early 30s, perhaps, like they're just like so hungry to learn, like, some of what we know.
Yeah, right.
I don't feel out of touch with them. I think that we've got stuff in common with with them as well, you know, and and that's kind of refreshing.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, right now it's a moment of reflection toward a friend of my mom's just came, and she said she moved to Kauai in 1978. Like 1978, I was 8 years old. You were probably somewhere around there.
Yeah, I was 7. Yeah.
Yeah, and right then, man, there was an explosion of music that happened in the late 70s, early 80s. It was just a full blown blowout of cool stuff happening.
Oh
And
yeah.
now that those stories are only now just being told online, which is an amazing like online renaissance of documentaries and wonderful stories of early punk rock and early rock, you know, the rock and roll of the 70s that became, you know, I mean, freaking what's his name? Iggy and the Stooges, or what was that? The Stooges? Is that Iggy Pop? I mean, the guy's still going. Iggy Pop is still going. It's amazing.
Wow. Yeah, a long time, right?
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah, that was a special time, man, that we kind of, you know, were born out of. I think the late 60s was tumultuous, and, you know, there was strife and there was struggling, you know, with like Vietnam, the civil rights movement, and, you know, women's rights or whatever. And like that time, like was when, like, look at how cool the cars were, and look at how great the music was, and the fashion,
right.
even. And then like this sort of social revolution, you know, kind of the fuck you to the establishment. I think it took some rebels to create cool shit.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, for sure.
And it came
Aaron,
out of that.
You have some
And
thoughts?
I want to pull it back to Star Wars real quick when you talk about rebels and rebelling against the Empire. Although I am a Wookiee, just know that us Force sensitives are easily swayed to the dark side, just like my theory on Sith Lord Jar Jar Binks. Just a little nugget when it has to do with rebellion and the established power per se of such things as empire.
Yeah, for sure. I can see that. I mean, as artists, I know that I'm sensitive. You know, that's what makes someone an artist, is that they are sensitive. You know, you're able to feel more, see things other people don't. And some of that could make you more susceptible to being influenced. To be
I think
if you're
being influenced, but also to be influenced.
To be
you know, by things like power, eternal life, especially dealing with technology, with the, you know, augmented reality, the brain chips, technology, Google Voice, all these things. I think us sensitives, us intuitives can either have a real hard time with it or can adapt also.
Right.
You know, it depends on their worldview, I guess, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you think like your favorite writer, or your favorite, like someone like George Lucas, you know, when he talks about Yoda being more sensitive, or the Wookiee being more sensitive, that's not anything I really thought of before, but it's like, okay, well, it does make sense, you know. And that's what, you know, that's something that can be exploited, or, you know, it can be like make someone a better friend too, make someone a better artist.
Absolutely. And like, you know, you're being a writer and being in advertising and me being in technology. I know I posed a question to you earlier about how much influence do these technology tools affect your writing as an artist, your business as a business person. And since you did go to college for business and art, you know, as far as career choices and being an artist, and me being kind of an artsy person, but also with business knowledge, utilizing my poetry in some of these systems to, you know, maybe enhance my expression of words into basically I've been making music using an AI.
How's that been going?
You're gonna get to hear the song, one of the songs we chose to kind of be our caps. I wrote it inspired by the Summerland itself.
Oh, great.
Or maybe should I play the song? I wrote Jericho a little quick little 8-line poem. He picked the genre, and I think the song turned out okay.
All right.
So I'll let Jericho pick whether we play his song or the song poem I wrote, or the regular Summerland song? That's up.
Let's
Jericho in the hot seat.
Let's go with the poem. Let's go with the poem.
So the Jericho poem?
Yeah, sure.
All right, because we are at that 25-minute mark. So I'll you guys carry on the conversation while I go into the screen share part.
Okay.
Get everything queued up.
So Jericho, you remember the first time we met?
You know, was it elementary school, or was it what? It was because I recall us playing as little kids. I thought
that could have happened, but the first time I remember was in junior high,
in junior
eighth grade.
Eighth grade.
Mrs. Trana's class.
Okay.
I came in there. I moved from Goleta to Carp for the second time. Actually, moved there also in second grade for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then moved back to Goleta, northern Santa Barbara, Patterson kind of area. And the teacher was like, "Hey Jericho, can you help out Dirk with his he had to make your schedule every day, like decide which study period you're gonna have or fill out your." It was a little foreign to me, and I felt pretty out of place as it was like being a kid moving to Carp and not knowing anyone. But yeah, I remember you helping me out there the first time, and then we've been buddies ever since.
I know, right? That's awesome, dude. Eighth grade. That was 1985.
85 or 84, yeah.
Yeah, 85 or 84, yeah. I thought that was a great time. Carp Junior High, I thought that was fun, man.
Yeah. That was kind of fun, yeah.
I mean, we had all those electives and all those choices we could make as far as class choices. I mean, I don't know if you had much choice, because sometimes when the classes fill up, I guess the cool classes fill up or something,
Right.
Yeah. So did you go to Santa Barbara High School or no?
No, I didn't. I went to Carp.
Okay, Carp 4 years. Right on. That's all 4 years. Wow.
Yeah, I remember hearing that you were going to go there, and it was sort of like we were not going to Carp High. You made up your decision, and
I went to Santa Barbara. I used to fake address, my uncle's address. So
why did you decide to do that?
Well, my dad was class of 1959, and then I became class of 1989. So it's kind of like a, my mom also went to Santa Barbara High. So family tradition, so to speak.
Right on.
Yeah. Aaron, you got your stuff queued up?
Yeah. Talking about tradition has become a tradition to play one of these AI songs for my poems. Also, I want to take a chance. We do have a live viewer on Twitch. Thanks for showing up.
Awesome.
We're getting close to the end of the show, so I'm going to switch over to the screen share part where
Thank you, Dirk. Dirk, thank you for coming today, man. Really appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, thank you, guys. That's been a pleasure.
Yeah, I look forward to catching up with you sometime soon.
Great.
And I always do this. I double check. I press screen share, and I forget sometimes to add. I got to put share audio.
Okay.
When I click from here we are in the face to here we are, and I'm getting better. We're still new at this podcasting, so I'm sure people understand. I got to make sure that the also share audio tab is ticked, so that when I share here and I play The Broken Walls of Jericho by
I like it.
By AWOL Aaron. Who's this guy? Who's AWOL Aaron? Here's the poem. Here's the song.
Hello, Jericho, your name. Some might say it's a thing. You took your wall, you escaped from that infernal town. The blessed city called out to you to know all things can be true. That day you were born in you and grew up in that Summerland. That seed of life, just ablaze, caught up in that earthly grace. As we traveled our separate ways, I will see you again, my brother, when we find our way. Raise the burning flame, shout out loud for Jericho, and don't forget his name. Fly through the Summerland we sing, and we win that race. Of course we can, we know because Let's all of us say, can we win that race? Of course we can, we know, because of saving grace. That's the way we can.
And of course, you know, we got a remix. Always with one remix. Here's the
That's
art.
cool, man.
Hello, Jericho. We know your name. Some might say a biblical fame. Yet with your walls all broken down, you escaped from that infernal town. But the blessed city called out to you to know all things can be true. That day you were born, ain't you? And grew up in that Summerland. That seed of life set us ablaze. Caught up in that early grace as we traveled our separate ways. I will see you again, my brother, when we find our way. With a wild tally ho, release that burden thing, shout out loud for Jericho, and don't forget his name. Back to Summerland we say, can we win that race? Of course we can, we know, because of saving grace.
So that was the song that I wrote for Jericho.
Nice.
You can see
Cool.
there's some artwork. There's another poem I wrote. Boardwalk Pop Fusion and the Jester's Tale. You got to check it out. There's 4 versions of that one. I'm going to end the screen here. Back to the podcast.
Cool.
That's great.
That's cool, Aaron. Yeah, I love it when you write your lyrics, man. You know, it's the written word, and then you feed that into, is it Sono? Is that the program you're using?
Suno.ai. Yeah, I found that it is kind of picking up on my word choice, kind of my quirky rhythm change and rhyming changes, because I don't always write in poetic, how shall we say, standardized form. I do like the free flow style, so I do add some rhyming, some shifts in my writing, and it, you know, I pour my emotions into words. Like this song turned out so good, I think, because it was inspired by me, you know, dealing with Jericho and being his friend and just being like, bro, I'm gonna just write you a quick little poem, bro, and throwing it into the machine. He said rockabilly style, and it makes me feel like I can present my poetry in a different way with modern technology and kind of, you know, it might catch on. I hope people like the music, the poetry I'm writing. I hope they like my podcasting and stuff. So I'm just going to keep charging. We're past the time. I know me and Jericho sometimes go a little past. But again, I like to throw in that sponsor area. And like I said, we don't technically have a sponsor, but the Passion Company, man, I'm going through their self-guided 7-day program, and I'm on day 2. I'm blown away, dude. I'm going to have weeks and weeks worth of contemplating my personal growth, just you know, a simple little 7-day course, you know. So shout out to the Passion Company, shout out to Jeremy Lastman, even though he has not officially signed up as a sponsor. His company is amazing. So I got that out of the way. We can stick around a little extra long if you want, like always. Otherwise, we're about 5 minutes past the 30-minute mark.
Yeah, we're good, man. Cheers to you guys. Let's wrap it up. Yeah, Monday. This is Coffee with the Summerland Kids, episode 17. Thank you, Dirk, for coming in and joining us today, man. We really appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, likewise. Appreciate you guys and your creative spirits and
for sure, man.
Wookie Man and the Walls of Jericho.
Yeah, it's good to get together.
Crush them down, bro. Jericho hopped on that hot rod, dude, and pulled out of that town right at the last second and moved over to Summerland, bro. Started a whole new life.
Exactly. Cheers, you guys. Let's break it down, Aaron.
All right. Bye.
Thank
I don't
you.
know how quick
Thank
this
you, Dirk.
transition
Appreciate it.
goes.